Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. On this episode, I want to go over a long-term review and ownership of the Baits Fishing Co. Hundo 100s. So let's talk about all the specs before we get into my opinion and long-term usage of these reels. They are a one-piece aluminum CNC frame. All the pieces on this reel itself are metal. There's no plastic on any of the reels. Only thing that's not metal is the actual grips themselves. These are, all the ones I've owned are a 7-to-1 ratio, and all the ones I own are also right-handed. Dual braking system. And you can see here on the outside, there's a dial that goes from 0 to 10. I usually keep them set between 4 to 5. I've never touched the internal factory setting. I left that alone and I just use the external dial. That's all you should ever need to do. They have a 10+2+1 stainless steel ball bearing setup inside these, so these reels are super smooth. They have all the bearings in all the right places. Everything is stainless steel. Now, unfortunately, but fortunate for you guys, they have came out with a Salto Hundo, which you can see I'm out here right now, stuck on it. Well, not stuck, but I'm kind of sitting here on a sandbar to shoot this video. I wish they came out with a Salty before I actually purchased these, because I originally purchased these for more or less freshwater, but I use all my bass gear for all my inshore fishing anyway, and I've been using these pretty much 75% saltwater right now to 25% freshwater. I just take them home, I clean them up at the end of the day and rinse them off really good with a very gentle stream of water, and just kind of spraying and putting some oil where needed. And that's all I've done to these reels so far. I should probably take them apart here soon and just kind of clean inside of them, but if they came out with a Salty, I would have bought those instead of the actual original Hundos, because I do a lot more. It's probably a 50-50 ratio of salt to fresh, but I would have just used my Salty Hundos even for freshwater. But one good thing about the Salty Hundos, if you don't have any of these now and you're looking to purchase one, is a Salty Hundo is made and a little bit more designed for that saltwater usage, because the bearings inside are not stainless, they're ceramic, so that they're going to have a better longevity and be able to take more abuse when it comes to saltwater. This 7-to-1 ratio does 28 inches per turn. The drag on this, even though it's a very small reel, has 14 pounds of drag. Now that's plenty enough for your inshore fishing and for your bass fishing or any other type of fishing. And what's really nice about this reel is that it's super small. It's a 100 size, and the thing only weighs 5 ounces. Now that's pretty much the primary specs of this reel. Let's get into why I like it and why I dislike it. And the first thing I did when I pulled this out of the box, and I'm not ever shopping for reels based on their size, but I did, like I said, bought these for that whole finesse fishing fad that's going out there now, because I do throw a lot of Ned rigs. You know, I always throw my Ned rigs on spinning gear, but I was like, let me try one of these reels for, you know, that finesse fishing. And when I first pulled it out of the box, I was a little worried. You know, I just dropped $375 on a reel, and when I saw it coming out of the box, it looks beautiful. And I did a boxing, you know, episode for these reels, and also the Goat 150, but I'm not covering the goats on this video. And I was scared because the thing is so small, and I don't have super large hands, but you know, overall my hands are not small, but they're not gigantic, but they're pretty big. And when I first grabbed it out of the box, I'm like, I just made a mistake. I just bought a reel, spent all this money on this, and the thing's gonna be way too small. It's gonna feel way too small. I'm not gonna, you know, I'm gonna feel like it's just too small in my hand. So, you know, I put it on the rod, and I started grabbing it in the rod and started palming it like this. And before I even started casting it, I'm like, okay, I'm not worried anymore. This thing is freaking unbelievably comfortable in my hand. That's the reason why I use these reels more than most of my other reels. I carry, you know, I use Cast King as well. I still use spinning tackle and everything else, but these reels have been, to date, after 36 years of fishing, they have been the most comfortable reel in my hand. I can fish all day and I do not ever feel cramped. I never feel tired, and that is a huge plus when you do a lot of casts and you're on the water a lot, is having something that's super comfortable in your hand. And these Hundo 100s fit that, no questions asked. I don't care if your hand's even double the size of mine or even smaller than mine. This will be the most comfortable reel you have ever put in your hand, and you're going to absolutely enjoy it. I wish they came out sooner, and I wish they came out with the salty before I bought these, but not a big deal. I just take these home, I rinse them off after using salt water, you know, with a gentle stream. Every now and then I will take them apart, take a Q-tip, just make sure I get any of the sand out of it, any of the salt water that's built up. You know, give it a good cleaning, use a good cleaning solution for reels, oil them and grease them where they need to be, and they have been working flawlessly. Now, I have had one issue with one of my reels, and I reached out to them. It was the most easiest way to do a warranty process. I filled out the application online. They reached out to me via email within like 45 minutes. You know, it doesn't mean that's going to happen to everybody, but they reached out to me within 45 minutes. Gave them the serial number. Now, I'm not going to take this off the rod, but right here next to where it sits on the reel seat of the rod, there is a serial number that's etched into these reels. So I gave them the serial number, and based on the serial number, they know when I bought it, so I don't have to show them a receipt. They knew when this reel was made, and they knew when it was purchased and all that stuff. They emailed me, got back to me, and it got taken care of right away. Within a couple days, everything was taken care of, and I was back on the water. So the warranty process has been great with this. You know, no matter what reel manufacturer you use, or, you know, have purchased in the past, you're always gonna have a problem with a reel. You're always gonna have a problem with a product, just like a, you know, vehicle or any other kind of equipment that we use today, or, you know, have in our household. You're always gonna have a problem. Not everything is perfect. It could have been self-inflicted by me, who knows, but they didn't ask those kind of questions. I just told them a little bit of the issue I was having, which is just felt like maybe one of the bearings, maybe something happened to one of the bearings that just wasn't running as smooth and casting as far. Just kind of told them that, and like I said, they took care of it. So like I said, this thing is the most comfortable reel I've ever had in my hand, and you guys will enjoy it as well. This thing casts so easily. Here, I'll actually show you right now. We got a 3/16 ounce of a weighted head on here. I cast my Ned rigs on this, no problem. But I'm going to show you here real quick. I've caught so many fish on these, and even big fish. I tell you, I've had no issues with bringing in 30, 35, 40 inch plus reds. It's just, you can see how smooth it is. It's super quiet, and it's so comfortable just to palm it like this. Take it, no thumb on it. You can see that. So I mean, if you have a 1/16 of an ounce, 1/8 of an ounce Ned head on this, you're not gonna have a problem casting it whatsoever. Let me tighten my drag up here in case I get a fish on here. And you can see right there, you have an audible click on your drag, and you have an audible click, you can hear that, on your spool tensioner, which I really like. And what I like about the audible clicks too is that even on your drag, you hear that, you have an audible click on your drag, so you'll know when you have a fish on. If your drag is set too loose and you need to tighten it up, or vice versa, if your drag is set too heavy and you got lighter line on, and you realize that that fish should be pulling drag and not pulling drag, you will know that you need to either loosen or tighten your drag up. So with all the audible clicks, the 14 pounds of drag, not having a problem bringing in any size fish, smoothness, no finger on it when you cast it. Now obviously when it hits the water, I put my finger on it at the end just to prevent any kind of overrun, because sometimes when I'm casting into the wind, I try to heave it, and you know, I've tried to no thumb it before, and for the most part I never had any backlashes. But every now and then when it's super windy and it's my fault, I'm trying to heave it out there, I will get a little bit of backlash, but it's so minute that all I got to do is just, you know, hit the thumb bar, pull out a little bit of that bird's nest, away I go. The backlash prevention on it with the magnetic, the dual braking internal and magnetic adjustability on the outside, you basically no thumb this whether you're throwing a heavy bait or a little bait. Now, you know, these reels have a shallow spool. It's really made for finesse fishing, but don't think that this reel is only for finesse fishing. Myself and a lot of other people out there, like CA, if you know CA from Flats Class YouTube, he changed over to baits too as well, and he fishes for snook, he fishes for redfish, he does all inshore fishing, and you know, none of those fish are small fish, and they fight really hard, and he uses these reels all the time. So they're not made just for finesse fishing, for, you know, bringing in small fish, etc. They're just super comfortable, guys. There's not much, there's nothing negative to say about these reels. There is no negative. You know, you could say having a problem with the reel may be negative to some people, but like I said, they took care of it right away. So there's no negative to this reel. I wouldn't dunk these in salt water. If you do, make sure you really take it apart and rinse it really well. It's not sealed. They're really not designed. Let me rephrase that. Can't say they're not designed for salt water, but just like any other reel, you know, any reel that you use for salt water that's not specifically designed for salt water or has a IP, sorry, I had a little bump there, you know, an IP 67 rating and all that stuff. Even if they do, even if a reel does have that kind of rating, you still want to be careful and keep it clean. But they've been holding up very well with salt water. A lot of people probably bought these for not using for salt water, but I use them for salt water. Like I said, I wish they came out with the salty beforehand, but not a big deal. I just been taking care of these. I got 8 months on these reels. I've been doing more salt water than freshwater fishing right now anyways. It's been a great reel, guys. I really like it. You can see right there, I had a little bit of overrun, but it corrected itself because I kind of spun it around, and I don't think I have my spool tensioner tightened right there, but you can see even with the settings not properly set, because I was adjusting it for the video there, I really didn't have any backlash. I had a little bit of overrun there, but it corrected itself. I'm on to the next cast, guys. So they are so comfortable. I just can't put these reels down. They're just freaking awesome, guys, and I can't praise them more than I can in this video. They have been blowing up. They've been at all the iCasts. They released a lot of new reels this year. They got the OG, like I said, the salty Hundo. They got the salty goat now. They have a lot of things designed for saltwater because they realize a lot of people have been buying these fish a lot of saltwater, so they've made a saltwater line, which, you know, the reason why with the ceramic bearings, it'll hold up longer. You know, it'll last, let's say, 3 times longer than stainless steel and saltwater. I can't afford to go buy all new reels just to fish saltwater, so like I said, just take care of these reels, rinse them off, take them apart, clean them up really well every now and then. You don't have to do it every time. I probably have done it only once since I've had them, and I just really keep them clean and keep them rinsed off. They've been great, guys. You can go check them out at baitsfishingco.com. I will leave a link in the description. You can see all the specs, read more about them, see other YouTube videos out there, see all their models they have out. And I have heard directly from them, I don't know if I want to say this because they may get mad at me if they see this video, or maybe they won't, but they said that they may be coming out with a spinning reel, hopefully maybe next year. And if they do, I'll tell you right now, this will be, most of my reels will be from Baits Fishing Co., including my spinning reels. If they come out with a spinning reel that's like all aluminum, really designed for saltwater, it's going to be worth the investment. And even these reels here, guys, at $375 each, yes, they are expensive. They may be on a little bit more of a higher price point or a higher budget than you want to spend, but these are real, even if you buy one of them, that you can pass down to generations if you take care of it. And you guys will absolutely love them. And once you put one of these in your hand and have it in your palm, you're going to realize how comfortable it is to fish with these reels all day. You're going to say, hey Ryan, you're right, they are super comfortable. If you guys can afford to save up and get one of these reels and slowly build all your reels from baits into your arsenal, I would recommend it. Just like I say about other brands, every brand I use have all been great reels to me, but this video is about the Baits Hundo, and it's been an awesome reel and the most comfortable reel I've ever had in my hands. That's it, guys. I'll stop it there and let you guys go on with your life, and I'm gonna see if I can catch some fish here, guys. So as always, be safe on the water. I'll catch you in the water. I'll leave the link to their website in the description, and go check them out for yourself. I will catch you guys next time.